Hey, what's happening out there? This is Brett Miller and this is Choppin' Ain't Easy. Today we're going to take a look at my friend Brady's 1990 FXR. It's already kind of under construction. I started looking at all the videos for it and I realized that I really didn't shoot an introduction for this video. I just started shooting video of us working on it. So yes, we are kind of midway through right now, but we're going to go back and take a look at what we've done so far. This video is probably going to be in several parts. There has been so much work that we have done to this, so that you're going to be able to see the progression of this bike. First thing we're going to show you is Brady and I actually saw this bike on Facebook Marketplace and really liked it. And it was in Prescott, Arizona. We contacted this really great guy named Frank. He had it. He's actually in my phone as FXR Frank. So we, one Saturday after work, man, we headed off and just drove as far as we could get. And I think we got to Santa Fe, New Mexico. And we got up at like 4 in the morning and hit the road again and got to Frank's down in Prescott and test rode it. I'm gonna show you some videos of that. Really thought it was a cool bike, and so we bought it and loaded it back up, headed back to Santa Fe that same day, slept a little more, and then came back home. So yeah, we kind of saw what we wanted and we headed on down there and got it. So in that first video, you're gonna see us go through this front end. This already had 2 over tubes in it with all the Race Tech gold valve, all that stuff on the inside. But it also already had these more modern Brembo brakes off of a Harley Davidson touring bike. But it did have a large bracket here that Brady didn't really like the aesthetic of. So what we ended up doing, and we wanted to black out the front end, we bought brand new from Harley Davidson fork lowers off of a, I believe it was 2003 FXDX. And so that allows us to get rid of that bracket. But it also means that we need to use a larger, more modern front rotor. These are off of a Lowrider ST. And so we had to get a little help from Vulcan Engineering to make sure that we had the proper axle, that we had the proper spacers, because you actually have to move. Not only is the inside diameter of these newer rotors larger, so you have to take up that space, but they need to be moved out a little bit to properly align with these. If you get on Vulcan Engineering, they've got all that stuff. You can basically put these Timken roller wheels on just about anything modern if you look on Vulcan Engineering. They've got a lot of cool stuff. So you're gonna see videos of us going through and doing that whole front end. Like I said, we blacked everything out, replaced it all. This is the original FXR Triple Tree in black, but we did replace the top Triple Tree with one off of a newer rubber mounted Sportster. Aesthetically, they're a little nicer looking, and they have no space for riser bushings. Brady wanted solid ones anyway, so these don't have riser bushings at all, so we did that. Did a new eyebrow cover in black. We did a new bucket for his headlight, and I'm sure you're watching the video seeing all that stuff. And yeah, we did all that, and you know, in future videos you will see when I switched out new brake lines, and we actually put on a Brembo master cylinder on the front, and we're working to do stuff on the back right now. And so keep watching these videos and you're going to see the progression of this motorcycle. One of the things that Brady was drawn to was the S&S 113. He's always been a chopper guy, and then he saw where this had no blinkers or anything. And so he always kind of considered it chopper adjacent. One of the things that you are going to see us do in one of the later videos is put a more modern touring bike Brembo on the back. And so again, we're going to get a little help with that from Vulcan Engineering. But there are several different brackets that we could do to put a more modern brake on the back. You can even put radial brakes on the back of one of these. But we really wanted to use the one from Ramjet Engineering, because we've used those here in the shop on several dynas and had really good luck with it. But more importantly, on this bike, we wanted to do it because Frank's brother had actually built this bike for him. I didn't get to meet him, but apparently he is the machinist that makes the things for Ramjet. So we thought that'd be kind of a cool, really cool full circle thing. Plus we just really like the part. And as we were a Harley dealer, we were able to order brand new Brembo rear calipers, you know, at a pretty good price. So yeah, this will be really cool. Enjoy these videos and check it out.
then I have one on the stand that I'm working on. That's my brother's. But that's a 91.
So you like the old stuff, the Evo stuff.
So we're back working on Brady's 1990 FXR. We have already made quite a few changes. I'll show you some videos on those. We changed his front end around. He had a nice 2-inch over 39 millimeter front end that came on the bike from the gentleman that built it before him. It already had race tech stuff in it, but we went ahead and added, we powder coated the bottom triple tree. We powder coated the top triple tree that we took off of a newer Sportster, so that it would have no, it's a little aesthetically a little better looking. It also has no riser bushings in it. Brady wanted it just solid mounted. And then we put the bottom legs off of a Dyna, Sports Dyna dual discs on it, because it did already have these Brembo touring calipers on it, but it had these large brackets that Brady wasn't a fan of. So we wanted to get rid of those. We already had it apart. We put some new tires on it. We're doing a few other things. Right now we're putting a new rear fender on it that we're gonna have painted to match, because the fender that he has on there is a reproduction and it was just powder coated this same color. So we'll run that one for a little while, but we're gonna get this other fender cut up today, get a tail light in it and things like that. It didn't come with any of that stuff cut into it. And we're gonna get it fit right, and then we're gonna send it off to get painted to match these other things. We also found a set of these side covers. He had chrome ones. We found some that were pretty scratched up. I spent a bit of time sanding them and buffing them. They do look better than they did when we got them, and I think they're gonna work just fine. We buffed out the tank and a few other things, and we're just keep plugging along. We're gonna do some work to the primary. It's got a leak, so we're gonna fix the leak and put on some fancy looking stuff, some cool guy stuff. So that's where we're at this point. We've also installed the Thrashin P54s and mini P54s. So we're making some progress here, and we're getting this thing rolling. We added these on to try to get rid of these brackets for the Brembo brakes. It has the newer touring bike Brembo brakes on it, and so we wanted to get rid of the triangular shaped brackets that were on there. So that's why we went with these newer fork lowers. When we did do that, got a kit from Vulcan Engineering with a new axle, some spacers for the brake rotors, and new brake rotors, because it not only are the insides of these brake rotors a larger diameter because they're off a newer bike, they also needed to be moved out. So Vulcan Engineering sells you the whole kit. They can sell you actually kits to put these older style wheels on a lot of newer bikes. It's kind of a cool thing. They've figured everything out for you, so you just buy the proper kit. So we've got that done. Master cylinder. Right now it's got a Brembo made Harley Davidson master cylinder off a touring bike. We will be adding the Brembo RCS, which is quite a cool piece. It's on a lot of sport bikes and things of that nature. Stunt guys use these a lot on bikes. Probably a bit overkill for this particular application, but we're all right with that. So start there today and see what we can do about doing those. I am going to start with kind of an odd little thing that I picked up from, I've mentioned him before, Mike Oley. He has Nine Finger Fabrication, a mechanic for high country back in the day, and I watched him do this. And when you're changing out brake lines on a non-ABS bike, this is a pretty cool trick that he does. I'm going to be taking the calipers themselves and tipping them out away from the rotors. I will then be pumping them up so that the brake pads come together so that all your fluid goes into there. Then I'll change the brake lines, I'll change the master cylinder. I saw him do this to put on taller handlebars because he was going to be changing the brake lines. And then you put the brake lines on and put a screwdriver in there and push those brake pads back out. That will force all that fluid that you just built up into those two calipers up through the lines, basically back bleeding everything. So I'm gonna try that, and you can check this out, see how this goes. All right, so we're back on Brady's FXR again, and this time we're going to be working in the back area here. We're going to be getting rid of this old single piston rear brake caliper, replacing it with this brand new Harley Davidson Brembo model that came off the 09, I believe, and later touring bikes. Still something they're using currently. Very good caliper. Since we are going from dot 5 to dot 4, we will be replacing the line, the master cylinder. I will be reusing this reservoir. I'll just be cleaning it out, but I will be replacing the line that goes down from the reservoir down to the master cylinder. This reservoir isn't baffled or anything. It doesn't have anything in it that's gonna make it hard to clean out. So that is the one part we will be reusing. Probably can't see it, but I did stick a cover on this off of a chopper that I owned, built at Bourget Bike Works when I worked there. Kind of supposed to be an old school looking one, had a shovel head motor in it. And Brady always really wanted that chopper. Another friend of mine ended up with it and has it out in Nebraska. He probably only rides it up in South Dakota. He has a place in South Dakota and Nebraska, but nevertheless, Brady didn't get it. So when I saw this cover on this FXR, I knew I still had one of these covers left over from my Bourget. So I had it powder coated black and then polished the top. 99.9% of the people are gonna see this part and not know what the hell it is. I put it on for Brady just because I thought it was kind of cool because I had one fit here and you know, that was a chopper he always wanted. So people may be wondering, how are you gonna get this to mount onto there? Through Ramjet Performance. And they have this great bracket that is made for an FXR to hold that particular caliper. They also make them for dynas. We're doing one on Doug's 2005 Dyna. Todd, one of our mechanics, is the one that introduced me to this piece. He put one on his 2009 Dyna that you will probably see in a later video as well. I'm also gonna pull the swing arm out. Told that they put in, you know, all new bushings and stuff like that, but these older bikes kind of tended to have the swing arm kind of do that a little bit. I did buy this bearing kit from, I got this actually from Ramjet, but it's made by Bare Knuckle Performance. and it's supposed to be very, very good. And it's basically sealed bearings, almost like what you see in a sealed bearings in a wheel. And will go in the swing arm, and it's supposed to stop that from doing that. Also comes with these great spacers, so the whole thing works. I was kind of assuming that that pivot shaft is probably as old as the bike, so Vulcan Engineering got a stainless steel pivot shaft that we're going to be putting in there. Figured might as well replace that, and somewhere around here I do have a new axle as well. And finally, when we get all the way done, we will be installing these Legend 14-inch rear shocks. Tall shocks, tall socks. That's what he's going to need some. So anyway, I'm gonna get going on this. It's probably gonna take me a while, so to do all this different stuff, enjoy.